Welcome back to K&L Farms. I'm Ken. I hope this video finds you well. And the beginning of this series was this greenhouse had actually collapsed and over due to snow load. And at the end of the video, I'll link at the end of the video if you'd like to go and start this series. But the last video I put up, I kind of tried to explain the structure. I was still tearing down the old, or the part that had collapsed due to snow load, and this is the original, or what I had envisioned. And this is storm door, and I'll show you here in just a minute how that actually functions. But storm door, and on my channel I've probably said more than once that I like repurposing material. And this door, we didn't have this door on the homestead, so we want to, you would probably call it Habitat for Humanity, and they don't call it. There's two stores close by that have repurposed material, and we went and bought this at the repurposed store, and this half glass, and I'll show you how that's half glass in just a minute, but it was only $35. And if you went to any box store, this would probably be $350. But let's go through a couple things here real quick, and then I might spin you around and show you the pile that I haven't taken to the dump yet of the remaining, the old greenhouse, and the pieces I had to take apart in order to get to this point. But here, just a minute, I'll spin you around and I'll show you why it's a half glass. And then I'll show you how in fact that slides down, and this is, of course, this is glass down here, and this is a piece of Van material. My wife picked this out. It's my wife's greenhouse, so she gets to pick out whatever door she wants on this greenhouse. And then the other term that I actually use, I use a term, it's called, and I call it running wild. I don't know if you can see it in the frame. You see that 4x4 goes up, and these rafters tie into a double plate. This area right here, I'll have to cut that out with something, and that's the wild part. It's not needed, because I didn't know, a lot of things I didn't know, and I'll show you here in just a second. I didn't know what pitch, and I've explained pitch before, what pitch of roof I actually wanted. So this is the pitch I wanted. I just ran that up 12 feet. It actually came out to 10'6" that I actually am going to utilize for that. The other thing is, when I got started, is see this box. There's a box here. This box is wider than this door. I built this box and got started on building this, and didn't know what the door was going to be. So once I got the door, we purchased the door. I came back and framed out. See the frame out from this door, this main 4x4 going around it, the box. I came back up to the store, bought the door. Okay, now I see the door. Now I can see how to make this. Now I know what size to make this, and then I just made, they call it a casing. Most doors come with a casing. This is storm door, so it didn't come with a casing. It was cheap. So, but I made the casing for this frame of the door, and I was just going to try and show you some of the things I was doing to keep you up to speed with what I'm doing on the greenhouse. And this is kind of what I got going. And previously on the video, I've kind of tried to show you outside post. Of course, you see the two outside posts. I built this to carry that main header, to carry that rafter going. But when I started, in fact, on more than one occasion, it's been several people have told me, well, how do you know what you're doing? I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really have an idea what I'm doing. I just start building. I know I need 4 corners. I know I need a pitch on the roof. I know what that rafter length is. I know that I need that 2x6 on the outside. This 2x6 to carry that rafter on the outside. I know what I need a 2x6 on the top to carry the top ridge cap. And I know I need a box around. so that I can put sheeting on at a later time. But I don't really, I kind of go with, I'll start building it and figure it out as I go. And it drives a lot of people in my family just extremely crazy. They're like, how are you doing what you're doing? I don't know. I'm just doing it. But anyway, I was going to show you that, and I wanted to show you that, or have this video before I put the roof on. And I'll spin you over here in just a minute and show you some of this scrap material I have. Okay, this is existing of the roof that came off, that was collapsed. And in the background you see the door open. That's just a tool shed. So we got the garden shed, we have the greenhouse, and we have the garden. As we develop as a homestead, that's kind of the way we want it to work. And my wife wants power inside this greenhouse. And I was going to show you another thing too in just a minute, but my wife wants power in the greenhouse. So I ran power when I built this stuff. I ran power over to this. And then I just bought a breaker box here shortly. That breaker box comes from here. Power runs into here. I think it's 50 amps runs into here. And then I carry 50 amps back out to here. So I wanted the power to come out so that I could have a breaker involved in this going on. And what I was going to show you here in just a minute. Okay, I don't know if it's actually involving, because a lot of people my age think that the internet and social media, back when I was a kid, you didn't have any of that. In fact, there's been a lot of times in my lifetime recently are you going to take your cell phone with you? You need your cell phone in case there's an emergency. I spent a lot of days, let's go with a lot of years, as a kid, driving around where I live at, didn't have any source of, there used to be a payphone. So no, I don't need a cell phone, I don't need the internet, I don't need any of that to exist, but this is on the same line. So building a building, and back when I was a kid, if my grandfather was alive and my dad was still alive, I probably wouldn't be using these pieces, but now it's kind of a commonplace. I think it's actually code that I need a hurricane clip. This cost me, I think this cost me 98 cents for the hurricane clip. I need a hurricane clip on the end, and I need a joist hanger on the main ridge cap, joist hanger, and these are all cost plus from when I was a kid. We didn't have these. These didn't exist. When we built buildings when I was a kid, when my dad and my grandfather built buildings, these didn't exist. But in order to make code, I have to utilize these pieces. And I'm not 100% sure that this way is better than the way my grandfather and my dad built it. Because there's a lot of structures that still stand that my grandfather and my dad built with when I was a kid. I helped. That's how I kind of learned how to do this type of thing. That still stand, and none of these existed then. So anyway, I was going to bring that up, that these pieces, I think they're cost overrun, but some administrating power above me says we have to use these, and I don't think they're feasible. But anyway,